that I immediately just said, okay. It's not. It's not something you come back from.
Namaste. Mason's drinking the moonshine. I'm eating crackers. Pardon us, folks. So we're going to continue on with the Corey Taylor deep dive, and we're going to get back to some more of that very engaging therapy session. I'm going to warn everybody that if anyone gets triggered about abuse, explicit talking about abuse, probably should not watch this. This is hard to watch. It starts getting depressing. And we're going to go into our first Stone Sour song. So Corey Taylor has a second band. And believe it or not, this was actually his first band.
Okay.
This is the band that he had started before he was taken into Slipknot. He is not Slipknot's original vocalist. The only original member from Slipknot that's still there is the Clown.
Oh, really?
Yes, and the Clown guy, I think his name's Steven, he brought Corey Taylor into the group because he thought that the original vocalist was just a little bit too guttural and not melodic enough, which is pretty funny given Slipknot's first album to me. But Corey Taylor, he does have that ability to switch it up, and that's probably what they were looking for. But then once Slipknot got popular, Corey Taylor found himself with some time and went back to his old band and brought in some new folks and put out some stuff. One of the first things they put out was on the Spider-Man 2 soundtrack. This was actually a huge hit. It was all over the radio.
Yeah.
And it's called Bother. And I remember being shocked when I found out this was the singer for Slipknot.
Yeah, so I remember being on the radio a lot. And when we were talking about what songs we were going to do, and you mentioned doing Bother, you're like, yeah, we'll do it as part of the Slipknot series because that's Corey Taylor. And I was like, wait, what?
Right.
So, yeah, I didn't realize that there was the same vocalist for Slipknot and Stone Sour until you told me about it, a week ago when we were talking about doing this series. Yeah, but I mean, man, I remember like as soon as the song started playing, I was like, man, I remember this being on the radio a lot.
That acoustic riff is like, that was all over the radio.
Yeah.
That bang, bang,
Yeah.
doo-doo-doo-doo, you know?
Yeah.
It was pretty shocking that he had that in him. But now it's less shocking because we know a little bit more about him and his range. So, all right, so let's get back to the therapy. And if you remember last episode, we were kind of getting into the fact that he tried to commit suicide because he broke up with his girlfriend. He was kind of just devastated about it. And Bother is related to that moment in his life. So, all right.
I had a hard time feeling anything other than grave depression. And it was the one time I really was just like, I can't handle this.
Well, I hear a lot there. I hear that you finally found your heart pulsating. And when she left, you were left with what was there before she came.
Yeah. Yeah.
This heartless young 17-year-old looking for himself, because also you'd had a lot of abandonment. So this activated, a lot.
Yeah.
Am I making any sense to you?
Absolutely, no. It definitely triggered a lot of things in me. It was definitely one of my rock bottoms. Because my grandmother came and picked me up. My grandmother, who has been the one person in my life, she came and picked me up, and she was so disappointed. I could see it on her. you know, and it was almost like a race of emotion. She was disappointed. She was glad I was okay, but she was so mad. And that killed me. It hurt so much. And I didn't, like, it almost put me over again that I immediately just said, okay. It's not. It's not something you come back from.
All right, so we'll stop it there.
Whew. That's like just raw emotion right there. And man, that's I feel like collectively as us, whoever's watching this video right now, just take a moment, breathe, recenter, find yourself again. Because it's tough to watch, but it's tough because you're almost going through it with him. The way he describes it, the way you hear it in his voice, it's amazing that like he's bringing you on that emotional ride with him. And just take a moment, because that was pretty powerful.
It's hard
just
to watch
by itself. Yeah.
It gets worse later. Man, I'm so glad you said that, because what I've chosen with this clip, it's gonna be a live clip, and what you're gonna see is this Corey Taylor by himself acoustic, and all his fans are there singing the song with him. So you talk about like him taking people on a ride and connecting. So here you're going to see the fans feeling it just as much as him, probably even more so, I think. But I think there's some cathartic aspect to this live performance, the fact that they are all healing, him and the fans healing together by singing it in a semi-joyous environment.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Corey Taylor by himself, live in London. Here we go.
All right.
Are you ready? Wish I was too dead to cry, myself a fiction face. Stones stood through in my creator, masochist to which I cater. You don't need to bother. Come on. I don't need to be. I need sleeping father. Once I hold on, won't let go till it bleeds. You alright, man?
There's something so great about thinking like all these rough and tumble Slipknot fans showed up to this show and were so down to like just scream over, you know, for this acoustic performance.
Yeah. It's always kind of cool to see them live and kind of see how, you know, it's different when you're there, but to like get a taste of kind of what the energy was like there and whatnot.
Yes.
So
yeah, I think we're really seeing a moment here.
Yeah.
Which is cool. All right, here we go. Back to it.
Once I hold on, won't let go till it bleeds. You alright, man? Wish I was too dead to care. If indeed I cared at all, never had a voice to protest, so you fed me. I wish I had a reason. My flaws were open season. For this I gave up trying. One good turn deserves my time. And don't need to bother. I don't need to be. I keep slipping farther. Then once I hold on, won't let go till it bleeds.
The studio version had a little bit more, you know, the classic rock band put out an acoustic single.
Yeah.
You get the orchestra on there. You know, I think it works a lot better in this setting. I'm almost thinking he should have brought in fans to sing the backup on the studio version. It sounds so good with the crowd. But I'm enjoying this a lot more than the way I enjoyed it back then.
Yeah.
It was on the radio all the time.
Yeah, I don't know, like watching it live or watching a live performance of it, it's kind of interesting to see his interaction with the crowd and like encouraging them to sing along with it and stuff like that. And it's kind of cool. And it's like, man, it's just this had to be almost a small-ish venue. Like he's clearly not at like Wembley Stadium or something like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of cool where like it feels more intimate.
The other thing that surprises me is like, if you think about the Slipknot vocal, if you think about like microphone placement to capture the Slipknot vocals, doesn't the microphone sound like it's always right in his mouth? You know, like there's not a lot of space there.
Yeah.
And so here he's like, he's pretty good distance from the microphone.
Yeah.
It's allowing him to actually sing louder.
Yeah.
But it actually still sound quieter somehow.
Yeah.
And grit in his voice is still there. So it's almost like there's energy to it and still being kind of a clean vocal, but there's still some grit, especially when he shouts. What do you think of the lyrics on this?
Yeah, I remember like kind of prepping for this. I watched the video with like just the lyrics on and thinking like, man, that's some dark shit heavy. Right there. Yeah.
That's some dark shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listening to it when it was on the radio a lot, I just kind of more latched on not so much to what the lyrics meant and just more the clean vocals of it and how good he is as a singer. Again, not realizing that it was the guy from Slipknot.
Yeah, let's get back to it.
All right.
Always the showman. Make the crowd wait for it.
You're fucking beautiful, motherfuckers. Are you ready? You'll get over it. Wish I died instead of lived. The zombie hides my face. Shell forgotten with its memories. Dire is left. Cryptic entries and you don't need to bother. I don't need to be. I'll keep slipping farther. Once I hold on, won't let go. Sell it, please. And don't need to bother. I don't need to be, yeah. I'll keep slipping farther. But once I hold on. Check these nipples. Never live down my deceit.
Is he saying the crowd made his nipples hard?
Yeah, I mean that was
I get it. I get it.
that was pretty cool. Like at watching that part, I feel like I agree with you. He should have had this crowd come in and sing the backup vocals for this song because that was pretty powerful, man. Like from a crowd.
We're watching that shit again.
Yeah, because that was pretty good. And now I think lyrically you hit my favorite part right at the beginning of that. It's something I internalize it as the wrong person died. Like that somebody in his life died and he felt it should have been him, and then a zombie hides his face.
It's wish I died instead of lived. A zombie hides my face.
Yeah.
Shell forgotten with its memories. Diaries left with cryptic entries.
Yeah, so it's the very first part. I wish I died instead of lived. A zombie hides my face. Like this is like when I like Slipknot, when I like Corey Taylor, it's because there's a nugget there where him and I finally see the world the same way. And whether I think he's coming from a different way than I am, but I've had times in my life where people close to me died and I looked back on it and was like, it should have been me. It shouldn't have been that person that died. That person was. That's called
survivor's guilt.
Yeah,
that's what that's called.
And for me, I think maybe one of the reasons I like this song so much is just because those lines really helped to like evoke that. Because in my mind, the person who died, I always built up so much in my head as is like, she was just so much better than me at everything that the world would have been better off if it were the other way around. And that's how it should have been, and it's a mistake. And then the zombie hides my face is, to me, you know, we talked about it a little bit with some other songs where you put the mask on, you tell everyone, hey, it's okay, I'm fine. And you're really not. And like that part, and it's a very clear part in the song that was really easy for me to latch onto. And
I think for Corey Taylor, there's some literal aspect to that too. I mean, his persona in the early Slipknot days, it's a freaking dreadlock zombie. Mm-hmm. So there's some literal thing to that. This reminds me of the part where he was saying, like, after he came back from his suicide attempt, his grandma was so disappointed that he wished that it almost put him over again. It's that kind of thing. I wish I had died instead of lived because I wouldn't have to see her disappointed.
Yeah. So it's weird that him and I are coming from different viewpoints, but we get to a very similar spot, and it's right. You're connecting. Yeah, and it's weird. It's why I have such a love-hate relationship with him as an artist. Well, the music he puts out, I want to be clear. You know, we do connect, even if it's for random different reasons. It really hits deep, and it's so good. It's so cathartic. It helps deal with those emotions or whatever. I imagine that's why Slipknot fans are probably so diehard, so loyal. That's how they feel about every damn song. Is that they're connecting to it so much because he's speaking for them in such a in this fashion. That's probably why, like, you know, they'd probably come back to me and be like, well, the way you feel about those 4 songs you like, that's how I feel about the entire thing. So that's why I'm so enthusiastic about it. And you know, and
I think it's well said, man. Yeah. Well said. I'd like to watch that part again. Okay. And then we'll finish it up.
All right.
Zombie hides my face, shell forgotten with its memories. Tires left, cryptic entries, and you don't need to bother. I don't need to be. I'll keep slipping farther. Once I hold on, won't let go, Sally, please. And don't need to bother.
I love that he claps for the audience right there.
Yeah. That's got to feel so good.
Check these nipples. Never live down my deceit. Oh yeah.
Showing off a little bit at the end there.
No, but
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that a lot. When I want to hear those kind of dark songs, I want to believe that they're healing people. And when I watch this video, I don't have to believe it. I can see it.
Yeah, and like especially listening to it the second time, hearing like how into it the crowd is that, I mean, it really is. It's amazing. It's really cool. It's like you said, you can almost hear it in their voices as much as you can hear it in Corey's.
I'm gonna stop it there. Stick around because we're gonna do Slipknot's biggest hit ever next.
All right.
She wears that smile, but upside down, she's all alone. And on the outside, she looks